Ooh.
Well,
what is going on in the world when you win 2 in a row? What the hell? What's going on in this world?
I don't know what to tell myself. But we're on a streak, right?
Man, we're off to a bad start. Anyways, we're back, Poppy. It's been a minute.
Yeah, what absolute chaos.
Like,
It's getting the last.
Like, life has taken us in other directions, but
Well, I have half my heart, and will that he one day? I don't know. Padres went down. Dodgers moved on. World Series, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Tell me more about that later.
Yeah, I always do.
But yeah, the universe brings us back, and here we are. So why don't we start off with a conversation starter, and that's kind of what we're going to focus on today.
Okay.
Our conversation starter questions from our Delve deck set here.
Been absolute just fun.
These
deck.
These are fantastic, especially when you find funny ones that you can use in a classroom. But
yeah, you always have to be careful because some of them go right to perversion to certain points.
Those
some
would be great for parties. So party conversations.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right. If there are no cameras on,
so
all adults in the room.
Let's start off with
people you trust.
A fun one. What fictional character would be the most fun to have as a friend?
Man, all right.
Who would you have?
So I'm trying to think like what I find entertaining. What kind of personalities do I find entertaining around me? Mm-hmm. And so the chaos, my favorite fictional character for all the time, just warms my heart every time he even flips out, or even as interesting takes as George Costanza from Seinfeld. Now, as you know, I'm a big fan of Seinfeld, but for all of it, just the show is just how annoying people are in the world in general, right? And that's what it is. But it not only hits on that, it hits on how annoying we ourselves can be. And that's like real life. I know I could be annoying, so that's why I really, really resonate. Like I always have these moments, and every once in a while I'll text or even call you, dude, you won't believe what happened right now. I'm sitting in your doctor's office and all, stuff like that. But
and it's rare when I don't answer. Yeah. Like if you call me or text me.
Yeah.
Like during games and stuff, but typically I will.
Yeah.
Just because I know you won't go further, but
yeah.
It's Constanza.
Usually inebriated when those phone calls happen, but
usually
even more fun.
Usually. That's what makes it a little bit more interesting. But,
absolutely.
Who would I go with?
Talk to me.
Man. I would either go with Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles. He's always been my favorite.
Well, why?
He's fun. He's fun. Like he's the funnest Ninja Turtle.
Wait, so Michelangelo was Raphael was this. The nunchucks. Okay. The nunchucks. Okay.
And I always felt like
those are like the most glorified martial arts weapons that I can remember.
Yeah.
Like, the nunchucks are just cool. Like even if you can't do it, you're doing it and it looks like you could do it. And it just looks so cool when people actually
But with Michelangelo, it was like because he was fun, but he liked pizza, and that's one of the reasons why I started really liking pizza as growing up. But I think
the Ninja Turtles
real life.
I think they were potheads.
I don't know.
That's just me.
Who knows?
I have a hunch. Huh. Yeah. Anyways,
makes you wonder.
Yeah.
But probably Frank the Tank, Will Ferrell character, Frank the Tank from old school.
Dude, having
just
him run,
because he's a party.
Yeah,
he's a party.
A lot of Will Ferrell characters would go, but Frank the Tank especially.
Yeah,
very good choice.
So we asked the same question to all
our fans,
all 3-4 of people who actually kind of follow us sometimes by accident, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
and there were some funny ones. Here's one. Patrick Starr. I think it was Caro Scene. I don't know who that is. Shout out to our followers. Patrick Starr, because I'll never feel stupid again.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Good job, Caroline.
You know, that would be, you'd always feel like, I'm not as dumb as this person or do stupid things. Make you feel a little better about yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe a little ego boost.
Yeah. What else we got?
Marissa said Kramer.
Oh, Sorozan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said Kramer.
I was so excited when it it was like Kramer, dude. Somebody else watches Seinfeld. I got so excited. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Kramer's fun.
And somebody else said Will Ferrell in Step Brothers. So the role, the role that Will Ferrell plays in Step Brothers, that would be a fun fictional character.
You could always lying.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore, always lying.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah. Dude, he just meant business when people talk smack. I remember my favorite one. He was at the golf course, and he went, because the guy was heckling him the whole time. He went up to him, pulled his shirt from his back up over his
yeah.
head and knocked him out. And of course, we don't condone violence, but you know.
Hey, he took a punch
Yeah.
from Bob Barker.
That's right. Bob Barker was the real deal.
Yeah, he took one from him. So that's a good
Absolutely.
one. Who else?
Uh-huh. Oh, God. Norm from Cheers, R. Jeffries, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Norm from Cheers. And
Which was that one?
He was the overweight guy, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look at
Uh-huh. Here's one. Yeah. What else we got? My cousin Tina. Donkey from Shrek.
That's the Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Just the constant.
Donkey.
Because you know, the onion one is fun because that concept of that movie resonated with me a lot. Like you're like an onion. It's like, what? Because I smell? No. Because an onion has layers. So every time you peel back a layer, you get to know something a little bit more about somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So that's some interesting ones, right? Oh, look, hey, my wife chimed in.
Oh.
How about that?
What'd she say?
Iron Man.
Yeah.
So
Tony Stark.
Because so Tony Stark is seen as more like an Elon Musk character.
Yes.
Then of course now that
But he'd be fun because he's got all the toys and all the technology and fly around and stuff. Yeah, heck yeah. Especially it's always fun, you know, you have people who have a lot of resources and have a little bit more access.
And then he doesn't impregnate his help, so that's the whole
yeah,
thing.
that helps too. So but somebody said what was it? Somebody said Krusty the Clown. Oh, it was my brother, Krusty the Clown. He does the Krusty laugh. It's pretty good. So, but yeah, thanks for sharing some of those fictional fun characters. But I like this question because it really kind of shows you like some of the ones you said were Friends, right? Or not Friends. Seinfeld.
Can't believe you made that comparison.
I know it's not.
Anyways, go on.
But it kind of like to me, it sort of reveals a little bit about like people's sort of personality. Like, who would you want to be friends with?
Mentally, you classify Friends with Seinfeld?
No.
No, you did. Because that's what happened. It's just like a knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, man.
Well, I thought of like shows and the popular shows.
Yeah, okay.
But like,
I'll take it.
Somebody said God. And
thanks, Caroline.
God is your friend if you accept him.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's a good starting question. Let's pull from the deck.
Sure.
And
all right.
see what we have.
Want me to go first?
Yeah,
okay.
Go
Here we go. All right. We'll also put up here. Which fictional character would be the most fun to have as a friend?
And that's what we just shared. So thanks.
Oh, that was. Wow, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Good job, champ. All right. What kid stuff do you still enjoy as an adult?
You know what? The first thing that comes to mind is the banana flavored Gerber. You ever the little frasquitos? Those,
wow.
The jars?
Gerber?
Banana flavored. Because it's creamy, but it's semi-sweet.
You have memories of this?
I still try it till this day. Like I haven't had it in a while, but if I see like baby food aisle or something while passing through it, I'll get a banana flavored Gerber.
Yeah.
This is
all right.
I don't know anybody who does not like that flavor.
In your defense.
Anybody?
In your defense, when I had my son and now I had my daughter when they were babies, one of the first things I went out and bought was a baby cereal. Oh man, I wish I remember what it's called.
Like puffy
mixed with
and
milk and they're like all these flakes, and I used to love it as a kid. And then I would just buy it for him just so I could taste it again and get that nostalgia coming back, right?
Yeah. So the baby cereal, like it doesn't like dissolve when you add milk or water to it, like right away, or
it's like no.
Or do you have to eat it really quick?
It's kind of like no. You can let it sit there. It's just, there's a bunch of flakes, and then you put liquid on it, and then it starts like bulking up, almost like an oatmeal texture, but not as thick.
Okay.
And then but it's just like the flavor. Just
bring some for lunch. Let's try it out.
I like this idea. Put it in the hallway, amongst other things.
Let's pull another.
Yeah. Add a koala.
All right. What holiday doesn't exist but should?
So as being a social science teacher, my head always goes to Election Day. And is Election Day a holiday in Mexico? Almost.
Well, it's
I don't know if it really is. Oh,
they
don't sell alcohol that day, right?
It's on the weekend, though.
Well.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
It's on the weekend, and it's one of those things. And they don't sell alcohol in certain states. Like Sonora, I think Baja California.
So there is like a rationale about why they have the, I think it's the second Tuesday of November. It's because all the farmers or something like that, they're back from market by Tuesday, so they could all come back and vote by then.
So it's more like out of tradition and
it's a ridiculous tradition.
Why do we still have it on a Tuesday?
We have freeways now. We also have the internet, and we still use the system. And it's just it's created such chaos.
So farmers have had a lot of influence in what we do because our daylight savings times is based on the farming.
Yeah, before we created factories.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, but yeah, I definitely would agree that election day should be like a holiday where it makes it just sort of as a ritual. Like you don't work that day so that you can participate in one of the greatest privileges that we have is to vote.
Actually, going back to daylight savings, that wasn't created for the farmers. We stole it from the Germans, just like the freeways, right?
I remember that was like to help.
It's a popular thing, but it's more the Germans did it to save energy.
I just wish they
would save fuel somehow. But nowadays they've actually done studies. It has the opposite effect.
Yeah, and it has negative effects on people's health.
Yeah, there's more auto accidents the day when it changes.
And
when we lose an hour of sleep.
And for me, it was never an issue because in Arizona they never change their clocks.
You could kiss my
until
ass.
I started working here. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So I like it in the morning because it gives me an extra hour to get here.
We California to Arizona.
I know, and I can wake up an hour later, but in the afternoon it sucks because I get home and it's like dark.
It's groggy. It's horrible.
So yeah, it's pros and cons. But for me, I would say the holiday that doesn't exist but absolutely should is opening day for baseball.
We'll have to take your time. Hang on a second.
And let me kind of. You want to take off your microphone or so?
Hello?
But you take your call.
Yeah.
I would say baseball should be, or because it's America's pastime, it should be a national holiday. Because it brings so many people together. It's one of those things where regionally we have so many teams that represent across the country. I think that for baseball, it should be a national holiday. It allows people to go to the parks or just go to watch a game somewhere. Sports in general brings people together, but baseball, it's America's pastime. It's a global game now. They're even having opening days in other countries. This year, we woke up at 3 a.m. to watch the Dodgers and the Padres. Well, I did. I don't know about you.
I did not.
I'm crazy like that. Watch a game, and I think, you know what? It should be a national holiday, especially since, people look up to teams and athletes sometimes more than they should, but there's certain athletes that definitely are important because of their role in society as a positive influence in their communities, but for kids as well.
The best example of what I heard that sports does to people, besides uniting people and sometimes dividing people like you and I, Padres, Dodgers, whatever, right? Is after 9/11 in New York City. I don't know if I talked to you about the story. You might know the story. There's a guy from ESPN. God, I forget his name. And he was walking on the streets, and he ran into a cop, and he told the guy, "Yeah, man, it's so tragic. What happened?" He's trying to sympathize with the cop. Hey, thank you for your service, whatever the hell. And the cop's like, "Hey, man, because it was Yankees-Mets World Series that year, right? In
2000?
September 2001.
No, 2001 was the Yankees and the Diamondbacks.
Really?
Yes, and I remember.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because I was a freshman in college. So it brought a lot of people together.
So the Yankees were in the World Series. Hey, man, how this Yankees looking? And the guy from ESPN turns to him like, "You sure you want to talk about something at a time like this?" He's like, "Look, man, this has already been my reality for a few days. So that's what's beautiful about baseball is it is a distraction from reality." So I always thought that was like the coolest expression of what sports could do. Yeah.
That also reminds me, like the sentiment and the need to be distracted by something great. And 9/11 with baseball. I feel like you also saw that during the pandemic. People are bored out of their minds. There's nothing to watch anymore because you watched every single thing that's on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. And that's what.
So they did basketball without fans. They did baseball without fans.
But it allowed people to look. I remember, like the first day of the season, even though it was a short season, I think it was one of those things that people don't bring up often is that baseball gave people another source of distraction to keep their minds off what everything was going on. The world's basically shut down, and it gave people something else to look forward to. And that's why I always kind of laugh when people say, "Oh, that the Dodgers won, the shortened season." But I was like, yeah, but the most important thing is the tournament, the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they actually allowed more teams into the playoffs that year. So you had to win more games to win the World Series that year. But it was a positive distraction for people, and it brought people together. And you're seeing that right now with, I know it's Dodger news, but I think it's more than just Dodger news. It's baseball news with the passing of one of the the goats, if you will, of Mexican athletes and players, which is Fernando Valenzuela, who just passed away yesterday at the age of 63.
Yeah,
he had such a great influence on the.
It's gonna hang.
Yeah,
all my.
I'm gonna cover.
All my things are all shapa. Yeah, hey, he made it.
Yeah, he made it. So,
normally I would not allow this Dodger shit in here.
But you actually did a great thing today.
So yeah, I always like every year. I actually always like showing the 30 for 30 Fernando Mania, and even though Dodgers could kiss my ass, right? No, but there's something bigger. It's more. It goes in more into Southern California history, Chicano history, and like he's. I remember walking into my grandfather's house, Castana, and he'd be watching the Dodgers. Dude can't speak a lick of freaking English, but he's sitting there watching the Dodger game. Why? Number 34, right? And I always remind everybody, the students, what I told them was, if who's been to an Aguilas game right here, the Mexicali baseball team right here, who's been to an Aguilas game, you get like anywhere from 6 to 10 kids per class raising their hand. I was like, well, next time you go, look at right field, and maybe you've already gone and noticed there's a number 34 out there retired. That's Fernando Valenzuela because he actually pitched for the Aguilas for a few seasons. He's
inducted into the Mexican Baseball Hall of Fame.
Dude, he's like probably like one of the most, in my opinion, the most important Dodger of all time, just because of the fan base that he brought in.
Because of what they did when they built the stadium. For the longest time, there was not really a Mexican fan base for the Dodgers because
displaced a huge Mexican neighborhood to make Chavez Ravine.
But that's
so for the 1950s and 70s,
in the 50s and the 60s.
So
when it happened.
And then they brought him in like 1979, 1980, and he just became a freaking
it was a
icon.
Show. Yeah. Like every game he pitched was sold out.
So
and he was one of the greats.
And fun fact, Walter O'Malley recognized that LA has the second biggest population in the world, second only in Mexico City. That's a fun fact. Think about that. Second biggest Mexican population in the world behind Mexico City. But Walter O'Malley, a businessman, he identified this and like, hey man, we gotta go pick up Mexican. And they found a gem, right? Found a legend. So even though he's not actually in the Baseball Hall of Fame, he had a short prime. I would easily argue he's probably the most important Dodger ever.
He's very important.
Just because
one of the
money, the fan base that he brought in,
and still
on that alone,
a lot of us are Dodger fans because of him. My family is because of him. So I, in turn, because my dad and my uncles were Dodger fans, I became a Dodger fan because of that. So that shows you just how generationally he's influenced a fan base as well. So rest in peace to El Toro. Fernando Valenzuela. All right, next one. Let's switch off.
Yeah.
What toys did you have as a kid that would be considered too dangerous to give a child today?
It was growing up in the 80s, right? One of my most fun ones is my uncle got a hold of one. He has a big freaking backyard in Brawley. So he got a hold of a merry-go-round. I'm like, oh, dude, I forgot about those things. I ran the backyard, and I got my kid, look at
those were an
and all my little nephews, like, hey, look at, jump on, and I started spinning it, and you could see their faces like they're, and the parents started getting scared, like they're gonna fly off, and I'm thinking in my head, well, we flew off.
That was the goal.
Yeah,
to make somebody fly off.
We flew off. We're okay. The final okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of like one of the strong. Only the strong survive, right? Because you hold on.
Dude, it's dangerous.
The strongest one will usually held off, but that thing, the gravity force, whatever you want to call it, G forces.
Yeah, my daughter loves.
Damn.
Every time we go over my uncle's, my daughter.
They need to bring that back.
Yeah.
They do.
Too many kids get hurt.
Yeah. You know what? God. And that reminds me, like, I don't know if it's not really a toy, but like we used to make bike ramps.
Yeah.
Oh my
With
god!
bricks
Like
or just
we would like take a
logs
board
or-
and just try to like
find a board.
just launch. So that was, I mean, that's probably more dangerous.
That's how I lost a couple baby teeth.
Actually, I have a scar. I'll take my shirt off.
Don't we all, right?
But I have a
Take it
scar
off,
on my
take it off.
shoulder
Let's see it.
because I went off a ramp, and I don't know why we thought it'd be a good idea to wet the sidewalk.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
At the time, it was a great idea, and then my bike tire slid, and I fell off the bike, and my shoulder just on the sidewalk.
Dude.
So yeah, but probably bike ramps.
Dude, yeah, you were growing up without internet or phones.
Let's keep
right?
going.
All right, here we go. What has someone said to you that will stick with you forever?
A lot of things come to mind.
Oh yeah.
But I would definitely say, and it was from my oldest brother, Mike. It was specifically during Christmas. He said, never to expect things, especially don't expect presents during Christmas because you're going to be disappointed if you expect things.
No.
But I think it's just in general, kind of like think,
It's a great
like
metaphor.
don't like have too high expectations from people or things because you're going to eventually be disappointed. Right? So I'm like, okay, I see that. But specifically, he was talking about Christmas. As like, we didn't have a lot growing up.
Like you always hear sometimes they expect success. Oh man, I don't have this job yet. I just graduated from college. Oh man, I did this, and they didn't get rewarded fast enough. So it's like a bigger metaphor, and I really love that. Right? Sometimes you just gotta be patient.
So for me, that was definitely something that I kind of like think about and like don't expect too much from people. Because if you do, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah. So how about you?
Well, the first one, I was thinking maybe I shouldn't go this route, but you know what? I still hear it. I still hear my dad's voice to this day, because the ADD thing. I'm always losing shit, and then I'll find it later, right?
What?
All the time.
We can go on
it's like a curse
today.
And my dad, I remember him saying that a number of times as a kid, son, you'd lose your dick if it wasn't attached to you.
Oh shit!
Dude, every time I lose something, I hear this voice. That's what I hear. Just
I did not see that coming.
Yeah. There's very few things that my dad never have like inspirational talks or metaphors for life, whatever.
It's a good one.
But every once in a while, he would insert these little quotes like that. It's like
it's a good nugget.
Yeah, right.
That's a good nugget.
But the big one, like more live, take a more broad base. My uncle told me this one about my grandpa about like one of my aunts was going to marry somebody that's not so favorable, and everybody wanted like my grandpa to get involved, right? And if you know, like you really shouldn't get involved in relationships because, I mean, what if they don't break up? And now it's weird. Now every time there's still family, they still have to come around or the friends. Then now you made it weird because you got involved, right? So he had this great metaphor. He's like, I didn't marry her, or what is it? Yeah, I didn't marry him. She did. And I really love that, right? Why is it my problem, right?
It's not my problem.
He's the one.
It's not your life.
Yeah, she's the one that has to live with them every day, or vice versa. He's the one that has to live with her, whatever it is, right? So just not to get involved in relationships, and because it's just going to make things weird, and it's the whole thing.
That's a good one, Harvey. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Let's pull another one.
Last one?
Let's see.
Last one.
Let's do this now. One more. Ooh, this is deep. If you could choose your manner of death, what would you select?
Oh, you already know this one. Alien abduction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go, right? And people are like, oh, man, won't that hurt? What if they do stuff like, yeah, but it's temporary,
Isn't
right?
That your point?
I'm going to, man, my consciousness is going to disappear from the universe. But you know what? I'm going to know aliens exist. Like, I'm going to see something that
I think we've established
very
exists, right?
few. Oh yeah, but with the government. but at least I'll be. Oh man, those fools are there.
You'll actually have met one. Or...
Yeah, and then before they probe me to death or whatever they do, right? Yeah. So
you're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, win is win.
I would have to say I don't want to struggle or be in pain, so I would say go in my sleep. Die in my sleep. I mean, I think that's what many people would say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nobody wants to, I don't know, struggle or feel pain. So I would have to.
I do.
Well, yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
The way to go.
Life is full of pain.
Yeah.
Suffering.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I really enjoy these questions, especially like there's some that are like PG that you can use in your classroom.
Yeah.
There's definitely some you're like, I would hold on to this.
I still
at a
more.
party.
I still more last year, but there's definitely certain settings you get in. And we're sitting around, or maybe you're drinking and you're staring at each other. I don't know. People want to do game nights.
I definitely would. There's a variety of different.
This is an alternative to game night. Yeah.
Cards. There's some that are a little bit more risque, if you will.
Yeah.
A little bit more controversial, but these are kind of like, just like in general, very interesting because it has a good variety of light, fun, more in depth, and there's some deeper ones in there. But I don't want to make you cry, so let's not get into those.
Not yet.
That was fun.
Best of the week.
Let's get to the best of the week, and you won, so.
Oh yeah. Okay, my best of the week.
What's your best of the week?
I had a little hiatus because my wife was working weekends a lot. So I stopped playing baseball for a little bit, or just for sporadic. And then finally, she got off the weekend shift, and I'm going to be able to go down to Mex and play again. And I went last weekend.
That league died for a minute.
So I was a little rusty, but I got a hit. It's not like I'm a freaking legend or anything, but it's more just situations.
In our own minds,
dude, it's so
I would say
so fun. Oh, it's another one like things you like the things you do as a kid, whatever. I mean. It's a kid's game, right?
Yeah.
It's a stupid kid's game.
It's a game.
But I get so into it. My wife,
but you can make millions.
My wife always gives me shit about it. Why always play like it's the last time you're ever going to play? I'm like, well,
because it might be.
Now I'm 45. And so I've been limping around all last week and all this week. She's like, what's wrong with you? Well, I got a piece of glass stuck in my foot. I got it out though.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, it is going to be okay for the game though, right? I'm like, yes, it will be. I'll play through pain. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Like what you got?
You just remind me of Freddie Freeman. Play through the pain, which brings me back to the best of the week.
You hit better with bum legs.
The Dodgers clinched the National League pennant, and they're going to the World Series.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Oh, man, that was definitely a highlight. And you and I know how we're both similar in the sense that we're very superstitious when it comes to baseball. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense if it works. And so there's certain things that I'll
do a whole episode on this.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about superstitions, but like I'm very particular in more specifically in the playoffs, because that's where it matters, right? And I just can't watch the games anywhere. I have to be specific on where I watch it and who I watch it with.
Like regular season games,
that's different.
I could go, right? Like,
yeah.
So my
but
wife,
I can't. And so the Dodgers won the World Series, and immediately cousins and friends were like, "Hey, let's look for tickets. Let's go to the World Series." I was like, "Let's go." I'm like, "No, I am not going to any more playoff games," which you did.
I share this sentiment. My wife bought me tickets, and she's like, "Why don't
won't
you
we go
look excited?
anymore?
Why don't you look excited?" Because I went in 1998 to a Braves-Padres playoff game, the NLCS also, and they actually won that game, right?
Good.
But I didn't care because I remember sitting up there, and I'm thinking, I can't see the game as well as I would normally on TV. And then, if you want to get up and use the restroom, you're going to miss a part of the game. Now you're getting in line to go to the restroom.
And
you come back, right? Oh, look it, I'm thirsty, or I want a beer. All right, let me go wait in line for 10, 15 minutes because this is sold-out games, right? Lines are packed. And then I have to go wait in line. I miss more of the game. I go back to my seat, and I'm drinking my beer or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, look it, I finished my beer. Now I have to go piss again. So I have to go back down, get in line to go take a piss, then come back up. And so this is the whole game. This is what's going through my head. I wish I was home.
And to add the economic,
I didn't go to the restroom. I didn't go to the dressing room or drink anything until the 8th inning. So we were down by 8-0.
So think about it this way: on an economic standpoint, you pay hundreds of dollars, and in some extreme cases like the World Series,
$300 a ticket.
You go to watch the game, and if you miss the game, you're losing money because you're not watching the game, right? But for me, it's not just that. I feel like specifically 2017 when the Dodgers made the World Series.
I need to be in my house.
Game 7, I watch it at my house.
I want to be on my couch.
And I watch it with my roommates at the time, and I invited other friends.
Yeah. No.
But I could not watch it comfortably because not everybody was into the game like I was, and they were talking and talking smack.
They're trying to distract you.
And I'm just like, watch the game. Like, hey, this is the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing.
Yeah.
Game 7.
Actually, for the Super Bowl, I whenever we watch Super Bowl, I don't pay attention to it.
But also, every single time, I've gone to several playoff games of the Dodgers. I went to one World Series game. and every time that I went to watch a game, they lost.
Oh, whole other.
So therefore,
value to
I
it.
won't go anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm bad luck, and I don't want to bring that bad luck to the field. I'd rather watch it either at my house alone or with other baseball fans or Dodger fans, or at my brother's house, because I feel like it's bad juju, bad vibes, and I don't want to bring that. And so I can't. I got invited by my friend Crispy. Sorry for saying no, but she's like, "Hey, let's go watch the game."
Sorry, Crispy.
Yeah, I was like, "Sorry, I can't. I'll explain later, but I have to watch it either alone or at my house with people who also watch the game, or with my brother, who's also a huge Dodger fan, because I don't want that bad energy, the bad vibes to affect my experience. I'd rather suffer alone."
George Costanza would have understood this. Yeah.
So
freaking whack job, right?
That's why for
we're
the
all
World
whack
Series
jobs in our own regard.
or playoffs, I won't go because I'm bad luck. Every time I've gone, they've lost in the playoffs. So hopefully my non-existence there will continue the streak. And game 1 is on Friday. Dodgers Yankees, the biggest rivalry in one of the biggest rivalries in sports, but probably the second biggest rivalry in baseball.
I think they've met the most times in the World Series.
They've met 12 times.
But is that the most?
This is the 12th time.
Is that the most of any matchup?
Yes.
1977, Yankees won. 1978, Yankees won. 1981 with Fernando, the Dodgers won. And so they haven't faced each other since 1981. So yeah. So on that note, let's spin it. New segment. We'll call this our disappointing affirmation of the day.
To something for you to all walk away with.
So it's philosophy, right?
Affirmation of the day.
Disappointing affirmation of the day. You are not alone. Everyone else is disappointed in you too. There you go.
And there you have it.
All right. It's a great episode.
All right.
Till the next one.
Till the next one.
Cheers, eh?
Thanks for
Hope the
watching.
Dodgers lose. Hope they both lose.
Poodles, oye. Let's go.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Well, so far, nothing has worked out the way we planned it. In fact, most of it is gone to complete crap, and none of this is what we were expecting. But other than that, we sure are having a wonderful time. Okay, bye.